You're walking down the street, and out of the corner of your eye, you see somebody approaching, and all of a sudden they cross to your side of the street. And become aware of that, a little bit nervous. As they get closer, they slow down and they stop and they ask you a question. And you say, "Thank you for asking, but no." Then they begin to touch. And you say, "No," I said no. And they ignore you and they keep touching more. And you say, "Please don't touch, please don't touch." And they ignore you. And then finally you're able to get away from them. And they turn around and they say, "You fucking bitch, you fucking cunt. You shouldn't be out here if you don't want to be touched." And then even worse, they never even ask you to touch in the first place. They just go in and they touch, but it ends the same way. This happens to millions of dog owners around the world on a daily basis. People are being verbally assaulted and disrespected. In no way am I comparing sexual assault to petting your dog at all. It is an assault though. It's a verbal assault, and sometimes it leads to a physical confrontation. In no way am I being disrespectful to anybody that has struggled with assault, whether it's sexual or physical or both. That's a different journey, it's a different conversation. But every day, people are approaching people with dogs, and they're either asking, "Can I pet your dog?" or they're not asking, and they just go in and they pet. No matter what the owner says, historically, they just go and they pet. And the owners say no. And then people will say things such as, "Well, why do you have your dogs out in public if I can't touch them?" Or they'll say things such as, "Oh, well, your dog wants me to touch it." Or they'll say things like, "But I'm a dog lover." And what it boils down to is, number one, you are an assaulter, a predator, selfish, disrespectful, and now you're acting like a victim. And you can't get what you want, and that makes you mad. And you feel that every dog is public property and you should pet it. Now, some people might think this is being dramatic, but you don't know what people's journeys are. You don't know how hard they have struggled with their dog to get it to walk properly on a leash, to get it from not being reactive to humans and dogs, to stop pulling them down the streets. You don't know if that dog is maybe reactive to people. That dog might lunge and bite you. And they've got every right to have that dog on a leash walking down the street. You do not have the right to touch the dog. I'm not against asking people if you can pet their dog. The proper way to do it is, "Do you mind if I pet your dog?" And if someone would ask me that, I would say, "Thank you for asking, but no." And that's the end of the conversation. You don't need to ask people why. It's none of your business why. It's not your dog. It's none of your business. It's a humongous problem. It's causing massive amounts of dog reactivity. You're endangering the safety of yourself, the owner, and the life of the dog sometimes. The dog does not belong to you. People did not get dogs for your enjoyment or for your touching pleasure. Just because you maybe allow people to pet your dogs, that's your right and that's fine. But that doesn't mean that you can pet other people's dogs. And when I use strong language, that happens. Historically, and this is not a sexist, chauvinist comment, my female colleagues, 90% of my clients are female, will agree that a lot of the people that are harassing them and not listening are also women. The hypocrisy and the irony of that I find amazing. When no is supposed to be no. People have fought really, really hard for that boundary. And now it's being totally destroyed. People like to humanize dogs all the time. I'll play that game. I love babies. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. My clients have a baby. I'll pick it up. I'll hold it during the whole training session. Crying baby. I'm great with crying babies. Put them in my little football hold. 30 seconds or less. Boom, they fall asleep. If you've got a crying baby on an airplane, I've got huge amounts of empathy for you. I'll sit next to you. Let the baby cry. I'll even try to help you if you want my help quieting it down. Just ask. I'm more than happy to help you. I know your struggle. I've got 7 kids. I would never ask someone to pick up their baby, though, on the street. Even a friend's, let alone someone I don't know. When I react and make these videos like the one I put on Instagram that F-bomb this and kick someone in the nuts and punch them, it gets a lot of play. People think it's dramatic. People think it's a little bit overkill. 99% of the people are going, yep, you said it right. It's what I want to tell people. It's what I want to do. That's how big of a problem it is. So whenever you get that kind of response, also being a professional dog trainer, business owner, social media person, travel the world training dogs, I'm on the right path here. The proper thing to do is either observe dogs and appreciate them, or ask politely and then accept the no. Why are we not accepting the no? People did not get dogs for your pleasure. They got dogs for themselves. And then when you start playing the victim card, meaning the one that can't pet the dog, you're acting like an infant. You're acting like a child. If you have not taught your children to never approach a dog at all, then you're being an irresponsible parent. It's a major problem. People are struggling. And you're part of the problem, and you're not even thinking about the owner or the dog because of your lack of empathy. I know people that will literally cross the street and chase down people so they can pet the dog. It is not because they love dogs. It's because they're selfish and they want the instant gratification of the pet. And someone could say, oh, you're wrong, Jeff. Actually, no. I'm not wrong. I don't know everything. I admit fault daily. But that's the makeup of that human being. That's the profile of that human being. They don't care about the owner. They don't care about the dog. They only care about their own selfish needs, and they need the fix. Meanwhile, the shrapnel effect is you're making people extremely upset. You're creating a safety risk. And a lot of this is being stepped up from the non-dog owner, from the petters, to physical violence. Get emails all the time from people saying, I was actually physically and verbally assaulted because I wouldn't let somebody pet my dog. Could you imagine that? That happens in my world daily. Not in my personal world, in my professional world. So stop asking people in general to pet their dogs. But if you decide to, be polite about it. And if they say no, be respectful. And it's none of your business. Why? Because their journey is not your journey. And it's actually none of your business. Jeff Gellman, Solid Canine Training. Madly in love with you. No means no. Respect it. In everything.